What's going on, guys? Snag here, and it's time to wrap up round 17 of the 2024 NRL season, and it was a cracker, lads. Really enjoyed this weekend of footy. Now, quickly before we get into this video, had an accident at the gym today, lifting weights off for my son. He's getting strong. I was lifting off a 25 plate, and I blew my back out, lad. I'm in so much pain. It is crazy. So I probably whipped through this a little quicker than I normally would, but still going to get into it, guys. I'm fine actually now where I'm sitting, but Jesus Christ, it's tough getting up and down. I'm rough, bro. So I am rough. Never had a real genuine. I had a big back blowout once when I was about 24 or something. I was deadlifting like silly amount, 280 or something, and then had a big blowout. But yeah, this is an old man one. My son goes, "What happened?" And I was just like, "Just old man back, bro. Just old man back." Oh, she's rough, man. Oh man, getting up and down is not good. But anyway, yeah, guys. So what I was going to say though, if you do have any questions, I'm going to start dropping that third video again. Just say I missed something because I skim over it or whatever. Love to hear your comments, guys. Drop in the comments. Like thoughts on the Broncos. Are they done? Are the Roosters going to make? Could they win the comp? Whatever it may be, drop it in there, guys. I'll pick out some good ones and I'll answer those in. I'll do a third video during the week. So I'll drop my one on Team List Tuesday, and then we'll do a news one on like Wednesday, and then so on, and then our wrap up video at the end of the week. So yeah, man, let us know how you went for the weekend, guys. I think we went. How'd we go? We went. Sharky's got this one. Got that right. Got this wrong. Got that right. Got that right. Got that wrong. Got that right. So not too bad. Definitely a couple in there. Sharky should have beat the Bulldogs. They scored more tries than them. But anyway, so let us know how you went out of 8, guys. That'd be great. And let me know how you went on the punt as well. It was looking like a real bad weekend on the punt, to be fair. I was like, we got everything wrong here. I think we hit one on these days and then got everything else wrong. And then I think we got everything wrong here. Yeah, we did. But we hit in both these games. I think we hit all our punts in both these games, which sort of saved the weekend. I think it's slightly down for the weekend, but barely. But Jesus Christ, we were lucky. We were bloody lucky. We nearly got skinned this weekend, lads. Oh, man. Saved by the bell, I'm telling you, man. Won quite a bit of money on Pereira as well, though, so that was not too bad. All right, guys, so Bulldogs get it done against the Sharkies. Warriors keep their season alive against the Broncos. Knights defeat the Eels. Melbourne Storm get it done against the Raiders. Dragons defeat the Dolphins. Cowboys looking nice. Great defence against the Penrith Panthers. Showing Penny Panthers how to defend, lad. And the Roosters skin the Tigers. God damn. Let's have a look at the ladder. So we've got Storm way out on top. 2 wins ahead of the Penny Panthers. Sharks, I wouldn't say drift in, but all of a sudden not looking so good, but still holding their spot in 3rd. Roosters in 4th. Bulldogs up to 5th. Dolphins down to 6th. Cowboys up into 7th, and Dragons up into 8th, wrapping up the 8. Seagulls move up with the bye. Broncos move down to 10th. I tell you what, bros, like this just... When the Broncos lost, man, I was sitting there like thinking about, talk about the game, but do you know what it made me think of? Just how good Penrith are. And I know they lost today, but they lose games around Origin all the time. It was just like, you think about the fall of these clubs, Bunny's right up there, get to that pinnacle, that grand final, drop like a stone. Parramatta the year after, drop like a stone. And Broncos, they're coming 10th. They're not going horribly. Oh, well, that's where Parramatta were last year. I think they finished 9th or 10th. Drop down. Penrith, man. And I really hope, honestly, man, I really hope Ivan Cleary gets a shot, and I know he's not going to win it, at Coach of the Year. What he's done to be able to coach those lads and keep them so good. They're going to give it to the Seraldo or Flanagan or something like that. A coach that's brought a team from down the bottom. But to me, keeping the Penrith up the top there, the way they have when every other team gets to the top and drops like a stone, is just wild, and I think should be appreciated a lot more. So I appreciate you, Ivan. What else we got here, guys? So Knights move up a little bit. Raiders starting to free fall a little bit. Warriors don't actually move, even though they got the dub. And then everyone else said, ooh, Eels lose and move up a spot. Man, I was thinking this too. So there was a couple stinker of games this weekend, but Knights played the Eels, and it was last versus 12th at the time, I believe. And it was such a good quality game. And I was sitting there going, man, rugby league is in such a good spot right now. Like, seriously, man, like, rugby league is just, like, the quality is so good. Like, I was chatting to a mate about it the other day, and he's like, oh, you know, like talking up AFL. I'm like, bro, your top 4 teams win every single game by a margin of 36 points or more. Like, the only good games is when they play each other majority of the time. I know it's not completely, but like, I'm like, I could win a tipping comp by just and the bottom games are just so awful. I was just like, man, the NRL, the standard is so high, like from top to bottom. Like, I know Tigers got a bit of a hiding, but even they showed a bit of fight and were pretty good, and they played red hot Roosters team. It's crazy. It's really crazy. There's no easy games in the NRL, and I believe last year, so the quality's come up this year too, because I think last year, the last 2 or 3 years, the Wooden Spoon has only ever had 3 wins, and the 3 bottom teams already have 4. So definitely better from those bottom teams already. It's only round 17. So, but yeah, guys, looking good. That the ladder's going to be pretty nuts. Like, this top 4 could be pretty set. I think there's a room for either the Sharkies to drop out, possibly, but they've got a pretty soft draw. Sharkies fans, I don't mean that in a negative way. You're playing a lot of bottom teams. Roosters have a relatively soft draw too. They play Melbourne. The rest of the teams they're playing are around. The rest of the teams they're playing are like in and around here, sort of thing. So they could, definitely lock up that spot. Penrith are going to be very consistent, and Melbourne Storm, we all know they're going to be consistent as well. So top 4's taken shape. This is right up for grabs still. So we'll have to wait and see. Knights get Ponga back soon. Broncos get all their stars back next week. I think Renault's back not long after. He's not back till 22. That's alarming. Jake Travojevic back for the Seagulls. So, yeah, it's wide open, guys. It's wide open from 4th down. He's wide open. All right, Bulldogs Sharkies. All right, guys, I got a bit of criticism for this one because I'll get followed by a lot of Doggies fans. Hang on one sec. I get followed by a lot of Doggies fans, and they don't like it when I tip against them. Look, one team's got to win, one team's got to lose. I don't hate your team or dislike your team because I tipped against them. I just had a feeling that team's going to lose that day. But look, everything I said in my preview was correct, and I'll show you that in a minute. It was Matt Burton's kicking from the gods, and this game right here, I love Niko Hines. Completely showed how the hell Niko Hines jumped ahead of Matt Burton in that halves position. That was dead set. His kicking game was like, so I'll show you what I mean, right? So we'll go to the team stats. I haven't even looked at these yet, but I know I'm right. Okay, so Sharks won every stat. Every stat. They were better. Doggies fans don't want to hear this right now. Sharks were better than the Doggies. They won every stat. More line breaks, more post contact, more meters, more tackle breaks. They literally, other than completions, that was great. But that was substantially better. When it got to a shootout, Sharks marched upfield with no drama and had two or three really relatively easy shots at kicking a field goal, and just absolutely sucked. And Burton's just booting them from 30 and 40 and just missing. Absolutely. But another thing that Burton did that was so good, which completely kept the Doggies in this game. The Doggies were making 22 metres a set and stuff sometimes. Like, it was like they only averaged 33. But it was they were having plenty of sets where they were making 20, 25 metres and stuff like that. He would boot it. So normally when they're very similar to Penrith, you know what I mean? Like, someone will boot it down, we'll catch it on full, bang, Mulatalo, bang, bang. Because his boot was so big, he was keeping them so far and spread out, and he was isolating one of them so well, and just having them take it from, 2 or 3 metres out. And then another kick chase was great, made them change angles because you don't want to get hit by him. And it was just great. Like, it was his kicking game, dead set, kept them in this. Because, I mean, it was literally like, well, they lost, really. They lost 3 tries to 2. It was just 1 from 3 kicking, and then Niko Hines just could not kick them in any... Like, Sharks were finishing their sets closer to halfway when they were in the cycle. So, if not over halfway, yet Doggies were starting their sets closer to the other halfway. Like, it was ridiculous how much better Burton's kicking game was than Hines in this game. And it really goes to show you that, like, I know the whole saying, and I do agree with it, forwards win thing, but sometimes it doesn't matter if you're making if you're making 41 metres in a set, which is great, and they're making 33, cool, bro. What if Burton's kicking at another 30 metres than Hines is? This is just completely nullifies this. So I said in my TikTok video, after Bulldogs, whatever you're paying Burton, double it. And I think they need to, because Jesus Christ, he dead set just kept them in this. It was an absolute masterclass. I mean, like, it was, other than completions, like I said, Doggies absolutely got pumped here. I mean, 9 errors to 3, missed tackles 23 to 45. Like, this is 21 ineffectives. Nice intercept there too. That was nice. But yeah, it was just like, this was the Burton show. Seriously, like, we'll have a look at some of these stats as well. But it's, again, like, I've had Doggies fans keep saying, oh, we've got the best defense in the comp. I'm like, you can't be leading the lead at missed tackles and have the best defense, but it's very good. Their scramble defense is nice. They miss a lot of tackles just shooting off the line as well, which is a bit, skews the numbers a little bit. But their defense is just, like, I don't think people realise how bad Doggies' defence was last year. Like, they're like, oh, it was one of the worst of ever. It was 32 points a game they were leaking. In the second half of the season, it was 42 points. Like, it was so bad. I've never seen worse defence. For them to be only leaking, 16 points a game at the moment? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Especially with a lighter pack. So what do we got? So we got Taft, 59. Blake Wilson was enormous. Bronson Sherry was pretty solid. Jacob Corral, I actually didn't mind him at fullback. He was good. He was real good. Skelton was okay. But yeah, Matt Burton just on another planet. This is one of these ones where his stats sheet's not going to read really well, but honestly, his missed tackles. Yeah, I thought he had a few missed. He does miss a few. For a bigger body as well. He should probably swallow a few more. But not too bad. Salmon missed 5 as well. Yeah. But yeah, no. So look, really good from the Doggies, man. I can't fault them. Like, they're just doing enough. You know what I mean, to win these games, and you know what I mean. It's good. It's good to see, man. I think there's some teams. You know what I mean, that the competition's good when they're doing good. Because this is the thing, right? People either love or hate the Bulldogs. That's good for the NRL, right? Because people watch to either watch them fail or watch them do well. So I actually always like when the Bulldogs are doing well, because I know Doggies fans are going to start talking trash, and everyone's going to hate that talking trash because they're like, you haven't made the finals. Like, it just becomes awesome, and I love it. I just absolutely love it. But yeah, it was But yeah, look, man, and just Niko Hines, man, like I said, there's not many players I like more than Niko Hines, just as a person and the way he plays. I really like him. He's so awesome. But like, I think he did really, like, the media can really, because the media loves this kid, man. Like, they love this kid. I think they can. I don't care what anyone says. The media pushing narratives and telling everyone can affect their selections and stuff like that in big things. Like, I've never for 1 second thought that Niko Hines was... I mean, he won the Dally M. I agree with that. Like, you look at his stat, blah, 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 whatever. To me, he's never been top 5. And to me, like, never should have been picked for a rep team. And people go, what do you mean? He's this, that, they made the top. Yeah, bro, I hear you. But there's 5 better halfbacks in the comp. I'm telling you. Like, Mitchell Moses is better. I don't care what anyone says. Cleary is obviously better. Like Jerome Hughes is like there's a lot of guys better here, and I really think that him sort of getting this golden boy glamour player sort of almost helped push his selection, because it's a bit weird. Like, we all see footy, right? People read stats. Like, I remember I sort of got in an argument with this guy, not an argument, just a discussion about whether like Mitchell Moses was better than Niko Hines, and I was like, it was a game, right, very similar to this game. This is almost perfect, right? Where they didn't play each other, but you know what I mean. I was like, well, I just gave Mitchell Moses a rap. I was like, wow, what a performance! He broke a record. I think he kicked for 1,000 kilometers in a game, which is just ridiculous. Like, you not kick for 300 or 400 normally. Like, it was just insane. But anyway, I think he kicked for not 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 meters, 1,000-meter kicking game. And he had like a try assist, but his defense was perfect, jammed, like everything was like, it was just a beautiful game for someone that watches the game and doesn't just like think someone had a good game because of their stats or not. And so I was like, this is a real stat line. Like, Niko Hines is way better, and Niko Hines straight up had like 3 line break assists, 2 try assists. Like, it read better than Mitchell. But I was just sitting there going, bro, I'm telling you now, he did not have a better game than Mitchell Moses, because Mitchell, they were number one Dragon. They were playing a poor team just had terrible defensive reads, and it was just Niko Hines did what he needed to do. Any good half would have done it, whereas Mitchell Moses was on the back fence and dead set saved Parramatta's ass because they were getting pumped. I think they might have even played Penrith, and literally kicked them to victory with this crazy kick and boot, and his crazy defense made it like a cover tackle, which saved the game and all this sort of stuff. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with this. I'm sort of trying to stick up for Niko Hines, but I've just always felt he's never been quite... I think he's getting a lot of hate now. I think he's getting a lot of hate now because he's sort of been pushed in this line. People telling us how great he is. He's been getting selected for Australia in the Blues ahead of people and blah, blah, blah. And then people are sort of going, oh, what? No, he actually... And now he's getting hate for it, where he shouldn't be getting this hate. I don't think he was ever quite that good. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's like Mitchell Pearce. Is he the one from the Roosters? If Mitchell Pearce never played Origin, never got thrust into that, we'd be sitting here saying he's one of the best club players ever. Unfortunately, he played Origin, got pumped by a really good Queensland team, and everyone thinks he sucks. He doesn't. But yeah, look, Kraz was good up the back. Wilson, Crichton was solid for backing up. I didn't think he was lit the world on fire or anything. Burton on another planet. I thought Sexton was poor. Terrible, actually. The middles held their own, were pretty nice. Viliame Kikau's kick chase was great. Loved what Curran did and came on, and it was just... but just another thing from the Sharks, I don't get this, right? Sharkies, I don't know what they're thinking. Toby Rudolph sucks, man. He is straight ass. How he is starting ahead of Royce Hunt and Hazelton, I have no idea. He was blowing this, absolutely blowing, 4-5 minutes into this game. They lost the middle there, and the Bulldogs are on top. It was just, it was bad. He was blowing straight away, and then he comes off, Royce Hunt and that come on around the 20-minute mark. Sharks are well on top. And then when the game got close and Bulldogs get close again, he puts Rudolph back on. Rudolph just giving penalties away the whole time because he can't stay in front, can't get back to 10. It was ridiculous. It was one of the poorest coach games. Like I said, Sharks in that middle part of the game were so dominant. It wasn't funny. And just, look at it, man. Bulldogs did not score a try since the 13th minute. Ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. And Niko Hines, obviously, poor boot. But anyway, yeah, Sharks blew that one, man. They had that one in the bag, and they just ruined it. Royce Hunt was absolutely murdering it through the middle. He should have stayed on or got a short break. Rudolph should have came on, came off, whatever. But yeah, that was just a terrible decision. Kafusi was great. I personally would have... I do not think that they could have handled it if... Is it Teague Wilton? Yeah, Teague played that edge where Talakai was. They actually handled Talakai pretty well. And then Talakai... if Talakai, Royce Hunt and Hazelton all came on at roughly around that same time at the end of the second half, I think they could have put 30 on the Doggies. They wouldn't have been able to handle that power game. Would have been too much. It would have been way too much. But Fitzy messed it up, lad. You dropped the ball there. But shout out to the Doggies, good win. The Wars, they're back, lads. Let's have a quick look at some of the team stats here, guys. So, plenty of possession. 81%, that's great. Broncos actually completed okay. 77, that's very good for them. Ran for 1,700 metres. Look at this from the Broncos. 1,100 metres. That is absolutely awful. 3 line breaks to 5. So Broncos still getting those line breaks, just couldn't quite finish. 28 tackle breaks to 25. Average set distance 40. 29. We just said the Bulldogs had a pretty poor one at 32. 29 average set distance. Look at this ruck speed from the Warriors. That's hard to handle. 3 offloads to 0. Not very good from the Broncos. Hey, both defended well. 25 and 28 missed tackles. Look, from the very first moment, I was like, hell yeah. Warriors on their first set won some contact and spun it out to an edge. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Not trying to play super ultra conservative. Now, look, I'll talk about the Warriors first and then I'll think. So, I was very concerned here. Oh, not that I wasn't going for the Warriors, but like, you know what I mean? I was Broncos, Warriors, whatever, but I tipped the Warriors. They got on top nicely and had all the possession. And they're sitting there 16-0. Was it? Half-time? 16-6. I'm sitting there going, and it felt like Broncos started to get on top, and I was like, here we go again. They're not going to be able to wrestle this back. Because that's been Warriors' problem. They've been getting out, looking nice. Other team gets some momentum, and they just cannot get it back. And it looked like it was happening again. And to Warriors' credit, they handled it, and they got back on top and got back the momentum and scored Broncos got another one here, but yeah, they scored 3 tries to 1 in the last 3 tries to 2 in the last 30 minutes. So pretty solid. Like, it was a pretty nice win. Like, I can't say they're back off that. But it was pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with that from the Warriors. I think they look better without Sean Johnson there. I'm not saying don't have Sean Johnson in the team, but I think they look better without him there. I love that young energy. I love the halves carved up, man. Like, TMM and Channel were ridiculous. Like, I think they scored 3 tries, didn't they? Channel, Tamari Martin, Channel. Yeah, so pretty damn solid. 3 tries between them. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, they look good, man. They got the Doggies next week. Shoot, this is a really, really nice, interesting game between those two guys. So, like I said, Bulldogs are going great, but I don't think they're quite travelling quite as good as everyone thinks. Just and then Warriors, who aren't travelling very good, but they have like we've seen that they're a genuine top 4 sort of relative team. They can play that way. Well, they did last year, and they've added players since last year. So it's going to be big for both teams, you know. So if we look at that, Warriors lose this, I'd say they're cooked. They win this, you know, they'll go up to 19 points, which brings them up close to just outside the 8. Just brings them 1 point behind the Doggies, who are sitting in 5th. So big game for them. That a huge game for the Warriors next week. Now, just onto the Broncos. First of all, Dean Mariner, his hands are so bad. Like, awful. I couldn't believe how bad they were. I liked the move, putting Selwyn Cobbo in on the wing, into the centres from wing, because I don't like his hands under the high ball. But I think Mariners might be worse. There was a knock on that definitely happened as well, which he didn't get done for either. Really bad. But he's got some wheels, man. But yeah, it's Broncos are very off. They get everyone. Again, I'm not writing them off, saying, and I'm not even really going to criticise them too heavily, just because they get everyone back next week, and there are some pretty good signs. I mean, they get everyone back next week. Xavier Wilson looks ahead of schedule to me. I knew this kid was going to be good, but I thought he was going to be good in like 2 years. He looks pretty good now. Like if they can get a bit more out of him, watch out. Just want to see more from Piakura. Want to see more from Ezra Mann. Want to see more from Jock Madden. Like this guy's meant to be touted to replace Reynolds. Like what is it next year after? He's way off that. So yeah, have to wait and see. But it's good to see Marty Tapau back, man. I thought like I don't know. To me, he's better than Fletcher Baker and a couple of these other guys that have been coming in and playing off the bench. Like Marty Tapau's like. He's big, he's strong, he wins. Like he was great in this game. Like he can do that every week for you. Like the Marty Tapau of old, where he's going to destroy teams and be the man, like the Jarrah Hargraves. That's gone. But he can come on and give you 25 minutes of winning contact. He's pretty good still. Like you just tell, like his biggest flaw in his game was he tried to do too much and try and offload, a bit like Pangai Jr. You say, mate, put it underway. If Kevin says you cannot offload, if you offload again, you're not playing. I just please run hard, tackle hard, and like play the ball quickly if you can. I think he should be in the team. I really do. Like just watching that game, he looked great. I saw him up at the corporate box there one game. I can't remember what game it was, but he's in great shape still. Like he's in great nick. So anyway. I think he should be in the team over Fletcher Baker. Who's the other guy that comes on and plays for him sometimes? Anyway, whatever. But yeah, I'm not willing to write off the old Bronx yet. But if they look bad next week, I'm getting close. Not writing them off to play finals or anything, but writing them off to win the comp. Gonna be too far behind. Tamari Martin, look at that. One line break assist, 3 try assists, 1 tackle break. Jesus Christ. But wish I had him in his super coach. Barnett, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist, 8 tackle breaks. It was great. But yeah, I really loved Nikora. I thought he came on and just ran so hard. He's such a good line runner. I've always said he could be one of the best second rows in the comp if he got game time there every week. Dallin was good. But yeah, solid. Oh no, wrong game. I was about to say Wade Egan got injured, but he didn't. That was Jeremy Marshall King, which is very concerning for the Dolphins. All right, let's move on to the next game, guys. Eels versus things. This was like people will be like, oh, how can you say it was a high quality game when there's 11 tries? It was, bro. The tries were sick. This was such an awesome game. I loved it, man. I loved every minute of this game. And I somehow didn't hit. Or did I win my try scorers in this one? I think I hit 1. Maybe this was the game I won on. I won on 1 game on Saturday. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, tries to Will Price. That was awesome. Greg Marju, Bradman Best, 2 each. Blaze Talangi, 2. That's right. Mika Sivo let me down. He should have got 1. I think he had 2 or maybe even 3 disallowed. I think Knights had a couple disallowed as well. Absolutely nuts. We took the unders on this and we hit it by, I think we had 61. How crazy. I'm pretty sure it was the unders on this one. We had one where we hit unders by half a point. It's crazy. Look, I haven't written down a whole heap for this one just because it was just a fun game to watch. Look, Parramatta, to me, just feel like they're in that bottom of the table thing where they've sort of forgotten how to win games. You know what I mean? They've just just pretend they were still coming last right now. They're the best wooden spoon team I have ever seen. Like they're playing pretty good footy. Like I know they haven't been winning games, whatever. They've been getting beaten by better teams, not icing games, whatever. Had their star out for a while. They are the best wooden spoon team I've ever. It's so fun to watch, man. I absolutely loved every minute of it. I tell you what, too, this edge is gonna this is what I'm saying about the Knights. When Ponga comes back, this edge was so lethal last year. Like, I hit Greg Marju and Bradman Best every game last year. This combo made me so much money. These guys are tearing the edge apart without Ponga sweeping around the back. Can you imagine when he comes back in a few weeks? If they can, let's have a look at how the Knights sort of what the Knights run. Oops, nope, don't want to watch that highlights. That was boring. Ooh. Knights, what's their run home look like? they've got a nice run home, and Ponga comes back and slots straight in seamlessly. All right, so they've got Raiders, Sea Eagles, Broncos. Tough. I know Raiders at home, tough. Like they're just tough. Then a bye, then Panthers. Okay, so this is pretty rough. Then they got Tigers, then Sharks, Rabbitohs, Titans, Dolphins. Only one bye. It's going to be touch or go. I just looking at that, I'd say they just miss out. But if they can drag a win or two along here that we don't think they're going to get, never know. You never know. But yeah, that edge is just Marju and Bradman Best is such a powerhouse. I've never seen such a powerhouse edge ever. I'm not talking about better. I'm talking about powerhouse. So those two dudes are so strong. Like, it is ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, who else was good? Hastings sort of sucked. But Will Price was good enough. This is the thing. To me, Moses was better than Hastings. How good? He's pretty much prime time Joey. To me, where it failed was Dylan Brown just wasn't good enough. Like that's why I tipped Parramatta in this one, because I was like, I think this will hold their own, blah blah blah. But to me, Dylan Brown and Mitch Moses versus Hastings and a debutant, Knights can't win this. Mitchell Moses was better than Hastings, but Dylan Brown was probably not as good as Will Price. So come on, Dillbags. You expected Mitchell Moses to do everything? It's so sad, bro. But anyway, let's have a look at some of these player stats from the Knights, eh? Should be some numbers here. So what? 1 try to Tuala, 2 to Best, 2 to... Man, Bradman Best would have got some... Bradman Best, 357 metres. 56 post contact, 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists, 2 try assists, 10 tackle breaks. Bradman Best. It's a Greg Marju. 210 metres, 54 post contact, 2 line breaks, 8 tackle breaks. That edge is lethal. Can you imagine when Kalen Ponga comes back and starts giving them space? We're going to be rolling in it with the anytime try scorers, bros. I'm telling you. Wow. Yeah, that's just absolutely insane. What else we got here? I mean, look, everyone played okay. It was just not quite good enough. Just Parramatta's edges are just too flimsy on defence. And Gutho good, 2 line break assists, a try assist, 3 tackle breaks. Mika Sivo, just 100 metres. You're the biggest dude in the NRL, man. Like, you're in the gym squatting 300 and you're getting ragdolled by halves. Like, halves are putting shots on you, man. It's just not good enough. I'd be shopping Mika Sivo around if I was him. If I was Para. Seriously. He's on decent money. He's not producing. And I'd say, like, Mika Sivo gets heaps of tries, right? But I would say half are walkovers. Like, Mika Sivo scores tries that a lot of other wingers can't. Or, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of other wingers would be a 50-50, and he'll score it. Heaps of Mika Sivo's tries are walkovers. Like, Parramatta's Dill Brown and Mitchell Moses are pretty... Mitchell Moses, Clint Gutherson and Dylan Brown are pretty slick playmakers. Like, there's a lot of Mika Sivo's tries that are walkovers. So I think if they could save some money or find someone else, some good young up and coming kid, one of those brothers from Penrith, those McLean brothers, Jesus, something like that. I think they'd do a better job than Miko. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Storm Raiders. This game was barely worth talking about. It was so poo. It was just like I do videos on my TikTok after every game. I didn't do one for this because I was like, what am I going to talk about? How poo the game was. Yeah, poo game. Just super poo. Yeah, it was absolutely awful. But one thing, Xavier Coates out. That's a huge loss for Melbourne Storm and the Queensland Maroons. Huge loss, man. Like, this is the problem, man, for the Maroons losing Coates. Number one, you lose your aerial threat, your genuine aerial threat. Number two, you miss a really nice safe set of hands. Like, he is really nice in the air. You're going to have to put in Selwyn, someone else under there who's pretty rickety under the high ball. It's bad. That's really bad. That's a big, big loss for the Maroons. I mean, they were talking Gagai into centre, Val Holmes onto the wing. Great, like, fine. But it's a downgrade. It's a downgrade, and the team that you're downgrading from got beaten 38-18. So that's pretty concerning. I thought Xavier Coates has been. Brian Tortor was the best winner in the comp. I'd say Xavier Coates over the last year and a bit maybe has been damn close to the second best. So yeah, huge loss for the Maroons, huge loss for Melbourne Storm. Apparently this is the third time he's done the hammy this year. So he did it in pre-season, he did it a few rounds in, and then he's done it again. The same hammy, right hammy. Not good, man. Not good at all. Look, I just don't even want to talk about this game. This is a write-off. It was absolutely disgusting. Jesus Christ, ran for 2,000 kilometres. But yeah, look, Melbourne Storm keep chugging along. Raiders need to find some wins real quick. It just looks like it's slipping away from them a little bit. It really does. But I have faith they can bounce back a little bit. When does Fogarty come back? They need that long boot. Round 20. So we're at round 18. They're going to need a real big run home. Raiders. All right, so they've got to buy. No, that's round 14, sorry. All right, they've got Newcastle this weekend. It's winnable. Newcastle are playing better footy, I'd say. They've got to buy, and then they get Fogarty back. That's great. And then let's look at their run home. So they got the Warriors. I'd say winnable. Right, but winnable. I'm not saying they're going to win. It's winnable. Bulldogs. Sorry, Rabbits winnable. I'm not saying they're going to. Bulldogs winnable. I'm not saying they're going to win. Seagulls with Turbo back. That's going to be a stretch. Cowboys in Towns. That's going to be a stretch. Penrith. That's a stretch. They're going to be pushing it, man. They're going to have to be playing. They're going to have to really step it up if they want to play finals. Really, really step it up. Something fierce. And Storm just look like they're going to cruise to a top 4 spot and win the comp. No, not win the comp, but make the semis. Apparently, Munster's running again. Let's have a look, see if we can find Munster. Money Munster. Round 20. Who are they playing then? Who are the poor suckers that have to play Money's return? I think it's Melbourne Storm. Where are they? Round 20. Oh, Roosters. Poor old Roosters. What's Storm run home look like? Broncos, Cowboys all the way. Well, they're doing the two of the Queensland. Then they got Panthers away. Geez, they've got a lot of away games. 3 of the last 4 games are away games. That's hectic. And it's Penrith, Cowboys, Broncos. And then they've got the Rabbitohs away. Jesus Christ. 4 of their last 5 games are away games. That sucks. That's a lot of travel just before you're going to play finals. Wow. That's absolutely nuts. And then they've got a home and then another one. Crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's not good at all it's a lot of travelling just before you're going to do finals. All right, so let's move on to Dragons. The Dargans versus... Man, I tell you what. We tipped Dragons originally and I was going to change it when Zach Lomax went out, but I forgot to, so I'm taking the dub. But Dragons are better than everyone thinks, man. They've just had a few games where they've sort of sucked, but those games are coming further and further apart. I really like what they're doing. Like I said, you drop Zach Lomax, Bird back into this team. I really like it. The edges are big, strong, powerful. You got the lightning guy out the back. Big forwards, man. Molo was hectic. Sewer's playing some of the best. Sewer was so good in this game. Mariner. I mean, Eisenhoof's not really doing it for me. If Blake Laurie can get back to where he was last year, which is Dragons' best player, he doesn't even get back to that, but he's not going to be better than Zach Lomax or anything, but you get what I'm saying. They're gonna have a shake, man. Love this Couchman kid. I really like what they're doing. I really do. I had a look. They've got a bit of a rough run home as well, but they like similar to Raiders. If they can just jag a couple wins that probably they're going to be slight underdogs on, they could make it, man. Finns for me just really need Hammer back. Hammer gives you 12 points a game, not because he scores 2 tries. It's just his presence. He starts set, like everything he does. They need him real bad. Now let's have a little look-see when he's back. Round 19. So it must have only been an AC joint. They need him because they really want to finish in the top 4. I think they look good enough to finish in the finals, but you don't want to just come and participate. Or when Jack Bird is back next round as well. So that's huge. Absolutely huge. And, Zach Lomax has actually done his shoulder. I thought it was his knee. Hopefully he's okay for Origin. He was bloody electric. But yeah, so yeah, Dragons, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but they look all right. 76% to 72%. They ran for nearly 1,800 metres. Restricted the Dolphins to 1,400. That's great. Post-contact, 665 to 882. 8 line breaks to 2. 49 tackle breaks to 30. Average set distance a bit lower, but look at that ruck speed, man. That's fast. That's lightning quick, lads. Lightning quick. 14 errors, a few too many in Dolphins. Very un-Dolphins-like with 15 errors. I just want to give Jaden Sewer a shout-out. He got pushed into the centres onto Herbie Farnworth on the opposite side to his used to and looked incredible. That's not an easy thing to do. Jaden Sewer ran for 209 metres, 94 post-contact, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist. That's just absolutely incredible from Sewer. Thought he got pretty owned at Origin. That's a great bout. That's just going to do his confidence the world of good, man. Shout out. There's talks for Feeder coming back into the Origin arena. And I agree, like he should. But then they were saying, yeah, put Sewer on the bench. No, leave Sewer on. Sewer's solid. You want to bring Fafita on for impact. Fafita's not doing any damage in the first 20 minutes of the game. Just leave him on the bench and bring him on when you need impact. Like there was a period there. So let's pretend Fafita was on the bench in the first game. When New South get 12, 14 points up and they're losing the ruck, you bring him on then to do some damage. And you say, hey, you're on the second row, but I want you coming into the middle and taking carries and doing whatever. And so, you know what I mean? You just, how Willie Mason used to play. Oversized second rower that would drift in and put it and do some tough carries and stuff as well. And draw in all these dudes. So there is space on the edges and stuff like that. So that's what I would be looking at doing. I think Sewer's just been awesome this year. He just got outplayed in that Origin. I don't think he did not play bad enough to get dropped to me. Look at that from Sloan too. He'd been pretty quiet. 2 line breaks, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist. But yeah, it's so yeah, shout out to the Dragons. Shout out to the Dargans. Panthers, Cowboys. Now looksies. Cows were missing a lot. Penrith were missing a lot. This is just one of these games where are we at? Panthers just forgot how to win in the wet. They just can't win in the wet. I said this in my TikTok video, and I just think it's so true. Penrith actually play wet weather footy in the dry, and then don't change when they go in the wet, right? So how do you play wet weather footy? Okay, so you put the crazy double cutout balls away. They don't do that anyway. You play within the tram lines. You turn blokes back under, tire out the middles, footwork, quick play the balls. Short kicking games sometimes don't even kick, just run to a corner, get tackled, kick long. Markers have to be, can't be lazy, line speed. That's how you play wet weather footy, and that's how Penrith play every week. But yet, I think they've lost 4 of their last 5 wet games. It's wild. I don't understand it. I remember when this record sort of started, whenever I saw it was raining, I'm like, oh, Penrith are going to smack them. I'm loading up. And then they started losing. I'm like, what the hell is going on? They literally play wet weather footy all the time anyway. They should be so used to playing this sort of way, and they lose. It's wild. Absolutely wild. I saw people saying Penrith don't find some form. They're not going to win the comp again this year. I remember people saying that at the same time last year as well. They will be just fine. if Cleary comes back fully healthy, mind you. They're not winning the comp without Cleary. But they had a lot of players out. And I heard someone say, no, like, I'm not going to take anything away from the Cowboys, actually. I thought the Cowboys' defence was brilliant. If we have a look at the Cowboys' run home, they've actually got 2 buys left. And they've got very winnable games coming up too. So I actually think they're a smoky for the top 4. The Cowboys went on this run last year, and I've said not for 1 second was sold. I was getting grilled by Cowboys supporters saying, "How can you? We're going to finish in the top 4 as if we're not going to." And I was sitting there going, "You're not going to play finals, lads," and they didn't because I wasn't sold. But they've tightened up the things I didn't like about the Cowboys defense, and they're doing a good job. Like they're doing a really, really good job. So they have Seagulls, bye. Bulldogs, Sharks, Tigers, Broncos, Raiders, bye. Storm, Bulldogs, finals. Like, plenty of winnable games here. Like, is that a lock? No, but it's at home. Then they get a bye. Then they've got the Bulldogs at home. You know, Bulldogs winning most of their games at home. So, you know, they've got a good chance to win. Got Sharkies, they haven't been looking too great. Tigers, they could definitely win that. Broncos haven't been looking crazy, and that's at home as well. They've got Raiders at home, then another bye, then they've got Storm at home, then they've got Bulldogs. They could go on a nice run there. They could also lose plenty of these games and just scrape into the 8. But this is set up for them if they are legit, if they start playing some good footy. I think they're good. I don't mind if they lose this one and then get a bye. But if they win this one and then into a bye, they're going to be serious. Like, they're going to be serious. Like, so 2 points here, 2 points here, 2 points here. And then they have the Doggies, who are just ahead of them. Then the Sharkies, who look like they'll be just... And then the Cowboys fans get excited. It's coming. But they have to do it. Like, they can't... None of those games... Well, maybe the Tigers game. None of those games are easy. That's the thing, though. Like, they're just... Most of those teams are sort of in and around where they are. Bulldogs, you know... it was a Bronco, you know what I mean? Like, they're in and around sort of where they are. So they've got to come up and play because they'll get swallowed. They'll get swallowed real quick. Bulldog... Laurie was brilliant. Besides that, it was, and the forward pack was great. Moses Leota was good. Isaiah Lowe was good. This guy was pretty good. Lawton Patea, he looked nice. The Cowboys, good. And Jesus Christ, Clifford looks nice. When Duden comes back, do you flick Chad Townsend? Because I like Clifford's kicking game way better. He's got a... Since when could he boot like Matt Burton bombs, bro? He was putting up hangers. And I've not been impressed with Chad Townsend. I think I might take Clifford, Scotty Drinkwater was elite. But yeah, Penrith, you'll be just fine. We'll have a quick look at some of the meters and stats, but... Yeah, not many stats there, lads. Schneider, 1 line break. Yeah, Penrith defended fine. They had a lot thrown at them. Cowboys actually threw a lot at them. And I thought Panthers did pretty well to hold them to 16. And then Penrith had no offense. Isaiah Yeo looked like the most likely to get over. You know, you're in trouble then. Kyle Felt, 190. He bombed a couple tries, didn't he? No, didn't he? They nearly got over a couple times. Scott Drinkwater, line break assist, try assist. No crazy. I thought there would have been more crazy numbers there. But yeah, let's have a look at the player stats. Let's have a look how this sort of played out. So Panthers completed way lower than normal, 75%. Look at that from the Cowboys, 86. How good. So Penrith ran for more metres. 1 post-contact too. Wow. Cowboys, 3 line breaks to 1. Tackle breaks, 44 to 20. So Penrith won some stuff here. Like I said, I didn't think they were that bad. I just thought Cowboys were a bit better. 4 offloads to 2. So tackle efficiency, great. Look at that from the Penrith Panthers. That's defense, lad. 20 missed tackles in a game. Wow. That's pretty incredible, man. 37. They faced 43 sets. And wow, and only missed 20 that's goddamn impressive from the Penrith Panthers. That right there is why they're going to be right up there in the comp again. People are saying, if they don't run, they're not going to be able to. Yeah, bro, that's pretty elite what they just did. But yeah, shout out to the Cowboys, man. Big win, and they're looking good. Roosters, Tigers. Look, I don't want to talk about this game because this was just an absolute skittling. We did hit all our punts in this one. I just want to talk about the Roosters possibly winning the comp. What do you reckon, lads? Can Roosters win the comp? We'll have a look at some player stats and we'll break it down. All right. Actually, we'll have a look at the team stats and player stats. So they were completing over 90. They made most of their errors in the last 5 minutes in this game when they had it won. Great from the Tigers, 81% completion. That's solid as. Ran for 1,800 metres, 9 line breaks, 521 post contact, 50 tackle breaks, 43 average set distance. This is just beautiful. 26 missed tackles. That's nice. You can live with that all day. And 8 errors. And like I said, I think 4 of them came in the last 5 minutes. Let's have a look at some player stats quickly. I just want to check out what some of these lads did because there should be some numbers in here, lad. Tedesco, 286 metres, 46 post contact, 2 line breaks. Line break assist, 1 try assist, 11 tackle breaks. God damn! Dom Young, 3 line breaks, 1 try assist, 5 tackle breaks. So Joseph Manu hurt his hand and he is not looking good. Apparently it's pretty bad. So we'll have to wait and see how he pulls up. Absolutely masterclass. Now let's have a look at let's have a little look-see at the Roosters run home because where are they coming? So they're in 4th. They've got 10 wins. So they've got 2 more wins than the Doggies, 2 more wins than the Dolphins, 1 more win than so they're 1 win ahead of. So these two guys, Bulldogs and Dolphins, both have extra buys, guys. So they're probably Cowboys actually probably go above them there. They've got the 1 extra win. We look at wins here, lads. Don't worry about the points, or you can factor in the buys. But if we're talking wins here, so they have 1 extra win over the Cowboys, who are right behind them. For and against is substantially better than anyone near them. Okay, so their for and against is just murdering everybody's. And their run home is Dragons into a bye. So they got 2 buys left. That's huge. If they can knock off the Dragons here, this is going to be a big game. Anzac rematch. Dragons playing pretty good. Dragons got pumped by them last game, Anzac game. Then they have a bye. That's huge. It's similar. That means they would have gone. So they lost the Cows, but then bye. So 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. If they win this 2 points and another 2 points, they're going to be right up there. They're going to be right up there. And then they've got Storm, which is tough. Seagulls, which could be tough. Dolphins could be tough. And then a bye again. And then they run home. Let's have a look at their last 4 games. Para, Titans, Raiders, Bunnies. Yeah. So are they going to finish in the top 4? I'd say almost certainly yes. And that's the first tick to whether you can win the comp. You have to finish in the top 4. Only thing that concerns me is to win the comp, all right? How you got to do it? You got to finish in the top 4. Then you got to beat 3 top 4 teams in a row. We haven't seen that yet from them. For example, Sharkies had played 3 top teams in a row and they lost to 1 or 2 of them. But it does happen from time to time. You get a little run of 3 or 4 really good teams in a row, and if you can't beat them, it's sort of question whether you can win the comp because we know Penrith can. Penrith have been the only team that's been able to do it over the last 3 years. So I like to look for it in the middle of the season. So they beat the Broncos and lost to the Seagulls, and then we come out here. They lost to the Panthers, then they lost to the Bulldogs. It was sort of looking grim here for a minute. Lost to Melbourne. They whooped the Broncos, then they whooped the Warriors, and then they lost. You get what I'm saying? So this would have been a relatively good indicator. I mean, I know Warriors aren't quite going as good, but, like a decent team. Okay, win, loss. Get what I'm saying? I just haven't quite seen this 3 big solid wins in a row from them. I know they're on they're on a streak now, but the streak is Tigers, Bulldogs, Para. You know what I mean? Like the Bulldogs were the best placed team at this point. They'll come in 7th, so they beat last 7th and then second last. So yeah, I can't quite say yes they're a genuine contender until I see that. But look, they've just done 3 in a row. I mean, if they go ahead and go, boom Dragons, boom Storm, boom Sea Eagles, boom. This is probably the closest thing we're going to get, right? If they can go Storm, Sea Eagles, Dolphins, if they can win those 3 in a row, I'd be taking them a lot more seriously. But we're probably not going to find out until the finals. So, yeah, crazy times. But yeah, they look nice, man. They look nice. Best for and against by an absolute mile. It's looking good, lads. Looking good. Anyway, that's it. Let's have a look at next week's games real quick. Get on board. Parramatta Eels versus the Rabbitohs. Should be a pretty good game, actually. Sharkies versus the Titans. Sharkies need this dub bad. Broncos versus Penrith Panthers at Suncorp Stadium. Maybe I should go to that. Let's see if my son wants to go. Bulldogs versus the Warriors. Where is it? Accor Stadium. Can the Warriors break the Bulldogs' duck? We have the West Tigers versus the Storm. Cowboys versus Seagulls. I'm so excited to see what Turbo looks like. This one's going to be epic too. Day game, Roosters versus Dragons at Allianz. That's going to be sick. And then GIO Stadium, we have the Knights versus the Raiders, and then the Dolphins get a bye. Much needed bye. I think they've looked a little flat the last couple of weeks. So I'm sure they'll bounce back bigger than ever. All right, that's it, lads. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.